Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back with another Reddit Ask Me Anything with BKFC star Steve Tomahawk Townsel. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, brother, man? Thank you for having me
Now,
on the show.
so I'm excited to talk to you. I actually live in Tomahawk, Wisconsin, so I figured like it's about time we meet up.
Yeah, man, you're up there freezing the tundra.
So being from Colorado, like the weather's about the same. And I'm from a really cold part of Colorado. The only thing that sucks is when it snows up here. It usually stays, but this year we don't have any snow yet, so it's crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I rocking it's Christmas Eve rocking this. I'm one of those dudes who's always runs hot, so I'm gonna be miserable during this interview. But I did it for you.
Yeah, man. Ugly, ugly, ugly Santa Christmas sweater.
Yeah. Are you a big holiday guy?
Um, I got kids, so I ain't got no choice but to be.
Sure.
But but holidays, man, I mean, I'm grateful for them.
Let me ask you this: are you like my wife hates buying gifts for me because she says you always buy what you want. So I always tell her like, don't give me anything. Like, hang out with me. Let's do something fun together. That works for me because, like I said, I will buy my own gifts. Are you the same way, or you like getting gifts, or?
Oh, I love getting gifts, but but once again, man, I got a handful of babies, man, and it's about them on Christmas time, so I'm not too worried about the gifts. They are the gift.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Dude, like becoming a father was like such an like awesome experience. Like it's probably my favorite thing. Like I always wanted to be a dad, and then when I had my son, like, oh my gosh, it's just amazing.
Definitely the best thing I've ever done, and absolutely the hardest.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I saw you're a big cigar guy. Like pictures of you smoking cigars, and so like how did you get into that? Like where'd that come about?
Oh man, so it happened a couple years ago. I was traveling. I haven't done a lot of traveling in the world since, man, until the past maybe 10 years or so. I've actually gone a few places, um, and I walked into a cigar shop. Had a cigar, drank a little bourbon with it, a little whiskey, and yeah, I enjoyed it. So I feel very uncultured. I'm from a little bitty
Sure.
space in Florida called Fort Pierce. Not big. Ain't been a bunch of places. Um, and I think that the cigars are a sense of culture and that aspect. Like drinking wine, like I don't really drink wine or nothing like that, but I believe it to be a culture, to believe it to be
Sure.
something worldly. So it's kind of what it was.
So, do you have a favorite cigar? Like, I mean, like, is there anybody you want to smoke a cigar with too? There's a lot of famous cigar smokers out there.
I don't know yeah, man, I don't know. Personally, man, my favorite cigar is it's an Ashley VSG. I had that in the Dominican Republic for the first time. It was like one of the first, basically the first one I fell in love with. It was amazing, nice and smooth. Um, as far as smoking with somebody, I don't know, man. I don't have I don't know no individual that I'd like to smoke with, but um, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. That's a good question.
Well, yeah. So, like, I mean, Boss Rutan's a big cigar smoker, and like Stallone and Schwarzenegger's are big cigar smokers, and Steve Austin. There's a lot of big ones out there that I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to just sit down and pick this guy, like especially somebody like a Boss Rutan who's like just a fight almanac, like.
Spot shooting is, yeah, man, for sure. Absolutely. It's definitely a fight almanac. Been around forever. Um, yeah, no, man. Still nothing. I still nobody individually, man.
Yeah.
I, uh, I'm working on something though, my own actual brand of cigar.
Oh,
Think about this, the Tomahawk. You got the
I love it.
Tomahawk. That's a cigar, the Native American background. I'd like to get all my tobacco American grown and working from that aspect.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just an idea. I'm working on things.
Like I mean, how soon would you see that becoming? Dude, that I mean, that sounds awesome. Like I would absolutely get one of those. That'd be great. Like how soon do you see that happening? Like what country would you
Um,
get them sourced in? Like
I want to get them sourced here. So yes, I have connections in Nicaragua and a couple other places.
yeah,
Amazing. I mean, when you talk about cigars, those are the areas that you'd like to get it at. I'd like to source them and find a way to do it all American
yeah.
grown. Um, uh, Working on those details, and it'd be dope if I can make that happen by the end of 2024. It started probably about a half a year ago. I talked to a couple people in the industry, and then we've been working on things and towards it. So right now, like I said, it's the idea.
Yep.
The idea is being pushed, and we're taking it from there.
Okay, so we usually reach out to people who are familiar with you for questions and comments. So I reached out to the baboon, and he said he didn't have a question for you, but he said, well, he said he feels like your name should be the teddy bear when you're outside the ring, but when you're in the ring, Tomahawk makes complete sense.
Oh man, yeah. I have a look to me. You know, a lot of people judge me on what I do for a living or how I look, but I'm not that big loudmouth dude that throwing my weight around or anything like that. That's funny.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So since you've switched to cruiserweight, I mean, like, do you feel like cruiserweight's a better weight for you than heavyweight, or?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a much better weight for me. I don't think it's the weight, so I think it's the height and the reach difference. When I fought heavyweight, because I fought heavyweight for a lot of years, even in my MMA career, and I always felt like I had this short reach, like they were longer than me. Um, I'm reached at about 74 inches, but down here at cruiserweight, man, I'm the long guy. You know, I'm the big guy, and it's fairly easy for me to make that weight. So.
Okay, so you fought Gus Trujillo, and then after your fight, you started training with him. Do you still train with him, or like?
Me and Gustavo, we don't really train together too much. Like if when I'm down in Miami, if we see each other, we'll get a session in here or there. Man. It's family. I mean, I eat meals together, stay, I sleep at his crib when I'm down there.
Okay,
Amazing people. Uh, that fight changed everything for me. You know, that was a really hard fight for most people to watch, for me to endure. But the best things came from that fight. Um, it let me know that this is really what I want to do, and you don't ever know those things until you're really like tested. And there's no test like losing in a horrific manner, a huge manner, where every 17 million viewers seen that fight,
yeah,
and it gave me an opportunity to say, man, this isn't it. I don't want to do this. But it also gave me the opportunity to say, yeah, I'm here. I'm good with that. Let's go. Let's keep it going. That I'm not gonna let it happen again. Um, and that's what I've done. I think maybe a month after that fight, maybe 6 weeks or so, I knew I was fighting on the next card. Gustavo was supposed to fight on the next card as well, and I spoke to him on the phone, and he says, "Well, come down here. You can train with Tigre, the Young Tigers Foundation with Luis Palomino." And
right.
I was like, "Cool." That was like a Friday, so like by Monday, I was already in Miami, and I've been down back and forth ever since. I finished camps down there. I probably lived down there about 40% of the time.
Okay, so when you're not training down there, who do you train with?
Byron Zamora Jr. is my boxing coach. So when I left, probably about 3 years ago, I left MMA. Down here, he's the only boxing coach that's basically around. Like I said, I fought MMA before this, so I had a couple gyms down here that I frequented. Treasure Coast Cartel, which is basically a garage.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not the regular garage. A lot of these guys that are coming out of it right now, I mean, probably half of them have been pro already. They're making some moves. And they just bounced around from gym to gym, and things just kept falling through. Um, but Byron Zamora has taken my game to the next level. I didn't have a lot of head movement before. I didn't have footwork. I was a pretty straightforward guy. Like I was coming at you, you hit me, I was coming at you. I hit you, I was coming at you. I had that whole mentality of I'll take one or two to give you one. Byron's giving me the aspect to say, hey, man, I don't even have to take these punches that I'm willing to take to give my punches. So he's changed everything for me. And he's my coach. He's been my coach for the past 3 years, completely. Um, Going down with the Young Tigers and Tigre and everything else, the environment's super dope. He was able to sharpen me up, help my movement. It's really worked out to have both of these coaches in my corner, helping me grow. Like I said in this last interview that I just did, man, I'm a student of the game. I'm 43 years old, and I'm getting better every
right.
time I step into the cage or to the ring. And it's due to these two gentlemen, not just them, but the guys, the coach. This is a singular person sport. You go in the ring and you're in there by yourself, but man, the camaraderie and the brotherhood and the team that you have around you, the people that you have such a huge part in what you do in this sport and almost everything in life. And I'm blessed to have two different gyms, to be able to help push me in the things that I'm doing.
So we've talked to another coach, and he said he absolutely encourages cross promotion. He said, I don't know everything. And he goes, if you can go out and learn something, he goes, that'd be awesome. You go learn it and then you bring it back and maybe I learn something too. So I feel like you're ahead of the game in that aspect right now too. Because so many of these gyms go like you either train here or you don't. You know what I mean? And the fact that both your gyms are like, hey, learn what you can. And like you
Yeah.
said, I've seen constant improvement with you. That's the amazing thing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So for about the past year and a half, I've actually started coaching myself. I coach out of RT Martial Arts here in Jensen Beach. I'm a striking coach, um, and I'm the same way. So I don't know everything. I've never and never will claim to know everything. And I want you to be the best you. As a coach, I want you to end up being better than myself. So if
Mm-hmm.
there's an opportunity for you to get work somewhere, man, I want that for you. Um, I think that the coaches, maybe it's a little old fashioned. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I don't want to make excuses for it. I think that when it comes to a fighter's career and the things that he needs to do for himself, uh, coaches always want the best for you. And by wanting the best for you, they should want you to get work from all the areas. So, yeah, I am blessed to have a couple coaches that are super dope, get along well with each other, and, man, just want to see me grow.
So what brought you to BKFC? What brought you to bare knuckle?
Man, so I got a brother of mine, Carlos Lopez. He the Machete. He fought for BYB, and I
Okay.
actually when I helped him start working towards his fight. I was helping with his camp. I was his sparring partner, training partner. I ended up going to one of those fights and cornering him there, and it was just like, man, this is super dope. So as a MMA fighter, those are 5 minute rounds, lots of jiu-jitsu, lots of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It just was a lot on my body. It's just a lot for me to learn too, man. I didn't even have combat sports until I was 35 years old. And I played football up until then, and I was a 285-pound man.
Wow.
Um, so it was just a lot for me to cram in such a small area to you know, when the opportunity came, and I told you I met Byron Zamora and I started going to just working on my boxing. Um, the how fast I was picking up on things and how much change I seen in myself, footwork, head movement, positioning, just so it was night and day. And that was it. Like I said, it was about 3 years ago. And I was given an opportunity to come in and fight Gustavo Trujillo. No one really wanted to fight that guy, man.
Yeah.
I came
He's a
into it.
killer.
He's a monster, man. But I came into that wholeheartedly, man. I felt like I was gonna run through Gustavo. I mean, there's never a
Sure.
person that I ever have fought that I didn't feel as though that I was just gonna destroy, obliterate, and that's always been my mentality. It's a 100% like kill or be killed
Sure.
um, situation. And like Palomino said, super. Always got a smile. Always super, humble about things. But when it's time to fight, man, like I'm there and I'm coming. There's no doubt about that. You're gonna feel all of me.
So just focusing on the bare knuckle thing, do you feel better? I mean, you clearly have a beat up body from football and MMA. Like, I mean, but like you're able to lose weight now. You're fighting lower. Like, do you feel better overall? Like,
I feel absolutely 100%. Man, these are 5 2 minute rounds. Man, this was made for me. Um, Not having to focus on certain things, being around new people, just doing this because this isn't boxing either. Like, don't get it
right.
misconstrued. Like, you don't have pillows on your hand. I have the utmost respect for boxers. I think it's brutal, to go that many rounds, 3 minute rounds,
Oh yeah.
with 10 ounce, 12 ounce gloves, and I think that's crazy, man. But this is something that's man, I think you've heard a lot of guys say this. It's built for me.
Yeah.
It's been amazing for me. It's been great on my body. Like I'm about to be 44 years old, and I feel amazing. I feel like the best health I've been in my entire life. So it's worked very well for me.
The cool thing about BKFC is like I feel like it's kind of like back in the day, like a boxer, someone when UFC came out, and you're like, oh shit, I want to get in that. And now like BKFC comes out, and you're like, oh shit, I want to get in it. And you guys in the fledgling part of this, you guys are going to be like talked about for. I mean, they still talk about the first dudes from UFC.
Yeah,
You're going to be in history. You know what I mean? And you have a bunch of fights in the company. Like you're going to be steeped in history.
it's one of the biggest things, one of my proudest things to be a part of. building a legacy in something that's such an amazing company, such a new sport. So, like you were saying, like when they talk about the beginning with BKFC, man, and the name Tomahawk comes up, like how dope is that? That just so yeah, I know, I remember that dude's a dog. He
Yeah.
brings it. So that means a lot to me. At this point, that's more what it's about is stapling myself, creating a legacy for my kids, for anybody that's coming up in the same situation or wants to become a bare knuckle fighter. So yeah, that's super super dope, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
So your upcoming fight, let's talk about that. So you are native, your opponent is native. I think that is really cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's just something like so tribal about this fight. Like I'm so excited about it. Like that warrior mentality.
When they actually told me this was going to happen, I was like super stoked, man. I normally don't reach out to opponents. Like I said, when it's time to fight, it's time to fight. And, I'm cordial, I'm cool with everybody. But I actually reached out to Leo. I was like, hey, man, this is going to be amazing. I'm super honored to be able to share the square circle with you. And immediately shot back native pride. Let's
Yeah.
do it. It's great. And that's a good feeling, the warrior mentality. I can't wait to bring it to surface with this man. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm up against. It's going to be great. Um, and I'm super stoked about it.
The thing that I love about Leo is if you were to show somebody a mug shots of and say pick out the fighter, like Leo's face says I'm a fighter.
Yeah. Listen, man, that's another part. So it's not just his culture and where he's from and who he is. It's this man's got over 50 professional fights,
Sure.
boxing and MMA. Man, anybody that's accomplished a career like that deserves respect. He's 3-1 in the BKFC. He's not somebody new. He knows what's going on. So he deserves respect. So I mean, I can't give him anything less.
Okay, so every time there's a big fight, I mean this Miami card right now is shaping up. Like if they didn't already announce that there was going to be a Knucklemania in April, like this Miami card would absolutely have the ability to be a Knucklemania. It's huge card. So every time there's a big card, we always get flooded on the Reddit with people go like, "Oh, I just found out about this today, and I want to get involved in it. What? Give me some pointers." So somebody who, I mean, clearly you have experience, like you're a lot of combat experience, MMA, boxing, this. So somebody who just starting out, what route would you tell them to go?
Find a gym. Gyms are everywhere nowadays. It doesn't matter what kind of area you're in, there's probably a gym. I think that's the start. And I think a lot of people think to themselves, hey, I'd like to do this, but don't even put their foot through a front door of a gym. And I think that's the starting place. I mean, there's plenty of them, whether it's a mixed martial arts gym, a boxing gym, a kickboxing, whatever it is, just find yourself to a gym. If it's something you enjoy doing, chase it. If it's not, at least you gave yourself the opportunity to know. And I think a lot of us have that issue. We say we want to do something and it sounds cool because you might actually want to do it, but don't put that first step in. So if you say you want to do it, just find a way to go do it. Most gyms are going to give you a week free, test it out. But that's the best advice I can give you. And if you like it, follow through. Like so if it's hard, follow through because that's
Yeah.
that's yeah. Like I tell these guys, all the time, it's the challenge is what draws me in. How hard it is. It's not something super easy. If it was really really easy, everybody would do it. Um, because you see here, oh, everybody wants to do it. You got the tough guys, you got the guys who
Mm-hmm.
just want to test themselves. I want to do it until they actually do it and realize, oof, it's a little bit harder than I thought. And that's how it was for me in the beginning. Like my first 3 months in a gym, I went to a big show down here by me called Rise of the Warrior. And it was a live cage fight. I was like, oh, I could do this. I'll smash these guys. I can
Yeah.
I ended up going to a gym the next weekend, like I said, making that first step. And some of these guys were in that gym were guys that I just told myself that I would run through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they schooled me. I got beat up for about 3 months. Couldn't hold my hands up. I was a big dude, man. I trained differently back then. I was an athlete, so I mean, I had that on my side. But combat sports is its own monster.
Okay, so outside of fighting and cigars, what are you passionate about? And your kids. I know you're passionate about the family. Like what else? What else do you like enjoy doing?
Man, I love the ocean. the ocean is it's my recharge, it's my restart. But that's pretty much it. I don't spread myself super thin. Like I don't hang out. If I don't train with you, we probably don't really hang out. You know, it's just
Okay.
kind of how my life is set up. If it doesn't have to do with my kids, then I'm probably not doing it. You know, but fighting has been my life for the past going on 9 years. You know, I've pretty much sacrificed, done a lot to be where I'm at right now, and I'm not done yet. So when I'm done, maybe I'll figure out what's next. But for now, this is it. You know, so it's fighting, family. If you're a friend, you're probably involved in my fighting life. But that's about it, man. I like cigars and I like to travel. I want to experience some life. That's it.
Sure.
Like like going out in clubs and all that stuff. That's not really what it is for me. But like going to California, seeing the redwoods, or going to see some dope beach somewhere else. Like those are, man, that's living some life, and that's what I want to do right now.
So BKFC is opening up in all these countries. Is that something you want to pursue? Like Colombia?
Oh,
I mean, Colombia's got a big show coming up, so
absolutely, man. I would love to fight. I'd like to go to the UK.
sure.
UK be super dope. They got a couple of really good opponents out that way. I think we put on an amazing show. But any of these countries, man, the Bulgaria, was it Bolivia? Was it Bulgaria did debut?
Bulgaria. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
like this
huge.
is crazy, man. Thailand, they're gonna open Colombia. Like
South
how
Africa?
amazing,
Yeah.
how amazing would that be? And like I said, that'd be a really good part of me setting up my legacy. Like I said, that's really important to me right now, and to be able to go to another country that I've never been to put on for the United States, to put on for the BKFC, that'd be amazing.
Awesome. Well, we really look forward to seeing it. Like, I mean, like predictions are kind of like one of those trivial things. Clearly, you see yourself winning. Do you see it being more of like a war of attrition, or like you've got enough power in those Tomahawk chops of yours that you'll be able to sleep him?
I got enough power for sure, man. It's just going to be on me being patient enough. This guy is not, like I said, he's been around the block, man. You look at his
Sure.
face, you know he's a super tough dude.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I think that if I catch him with one of these lefts, man, it's over. But yeah, I'm looking to have some fun. I'm gonna be smart on this one, man. I'm not gonna be uncalculated. I'm really trying not to brawl, but that don't mean I won't brawl with him. I'm gonna fight the fight according to it as I'm in there. So I mean, I
Oh,
see it's going probably to the third round.
okay. Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing it. You're a big fan favorite on the Reddit, so we appreciate your time, and we can't wait to watch this fight.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having me. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, sir. Thanks.